Exposed. Dad's shocking refusal to fund my wedding led to an unexpected, heartwarming twist. Emma paced in her living room, her heart racing. Her wedding day with Jake had danced tantalizingly close, shimmering like a mirage. But then came the earth-shattering blow. "I won to pay for it," her father had said. His voice steady yet hardened. Felt like a punch to the gut. A proud, retired veteran. He believed in hard work and self-reliance. But it left Emma feeling abandoned, questioning if he loved her wedding dreams or simply wanted her to suffer the struggle he endured. Every evening, a fresh wave of despair washed over her. The floral bouquets she envisioned turned into wilted dreams. She pictured family and friends' laughter bubbling over the romantic music, but now those images taunted her. Will we have to elope? She wondered. Her dream slipped further away, dragging anger behind it, almost drowning out the love she felt for Jake. Meanwhile, her father, Jack, sat in his recliner, the weight of regret heavy on his chest. He'd always worked multiple jobs to support the family, instilling values he thought would carry Emma far. But in his heart, he felt the cracks, understanding that his teachings might be pushing his beloved daughter away. As summer sunlight streamed through the window, he thought about how love sometimes means letting go and supporting those you care about in ways you never expected. The neighborhood was abuzz with summer barbecues and laughter echoed warmly in the air, even reaching Emma's kitchen. She dragged herself to the community barbecue one sunny Saturday, surrounded by neighbors who tossed burgers on the grill and chatted about their week. No one seemed to struggle, and the comfort of those familiar faces rubbed against her heart, leaving a soft, warm sensation. She watched Clara, a single mom struggling but managing to create a community hub with her resourcefulness, bringing everyone together. The laughter and shared stories were infectious. A father lifted his child onto his shoulders, while another neighbor lent a hand to a friend in need. Emma could feel the strength of solidarity in the air. As the sun dipped low, her father approached, an unexpected seriousness in his eyes. He began, his voice shaky yet determined. "I've been thinking. What if we used the community center for your wedding?" Hope flickered, but confusion churned inside her. "Wait, you'd do that?" She stammered, caught off guard. "Do you really want to help?" His gaze held hers, but doubt nibbled at her heart. Was this a move to push her or a genuine gesture? Just when she felt the flicker of hope burst into a flame, her mind spiraled with questions. Could he truly measure love in monetary sacrifices, or was there deeper power in the life lessons he instilled? And what if the very struggle he imposed was what drove them apart instead of closer together? Emma's heart raced, the barbecue sounds fading into a distant hum. She was caught at the crossroads of love, pride, and family, and the weight of uncertainty clouded her thoughts. The question loomed, would understanding ever bridge the widening chasm between them? Emma felt a surge of emotions swirling inside her as she stood in the fading sunlight. Her father's words hung in the air like a fragile thread, swaying between hope and confusion. Why the sudden change? Had he realized how his refusal had wounded her? "Let us talk about it," her father said, breaking the silence that enveloped them both. Emma nodded, her heart still racing. They moved away from the laughter of the barbecue, towards a quiet corner under the old oak tree, its leaves rustling gently in the evening breeze. As they settled onto a worn bench, she felt a nervous energy crackle between them. "I know I hurt you," Jack began, his voice low and earnest. "It wasn't easy for me to say no. I wanted to teach you about standing on your own 2 feet. But maybe I forgot to listen." Emma felt tears pricking at her eyes. It was as if the weight of her father's unyielding expectations had finally come crashing down. "Dad, it's not just about the money. It's about feeling supported. Feeling like my dreams matter." "I thought this was what you needed," Jack countered gently, remorse shadowing his features. "But I see now that I might have been wrong. What I wanted was to prepare you for life, even if that meant making it harder for you in the moment." The conversation tugged at Emma's heart. Would she be able to accept his gesture, knowing that it came from a place of love even if the delivery had caused them both pain? "What about the community center?" she pressed, seeking clarity. You really think it can work? He nodded, his conviction growing stronger. Of course. It's a beautiful space, and we could make it special. Could be our chance to bring people together, to celebrate not just your wedding, but also our family. And our rebuilding. The thought of the community center filled with friends, laughter, and a celebration of love began to mend the frayed edges of Emma's heart. Maybe this could be the turning point for both of them. Okay, she whispered, a breath of hope escaping her lips. Let us do it. Over the next few weeks, they poured themselves into planning. Busy weekends turned into a flurry of activity. Choosing decorations, coordinating food arrangements from local vendors, and enlisting the help of friends who were eager to pitch in. As they worked side by side, something began to shift. Every shared laugh, every moment of frustration transformed their once rocky relationship. There were moments of conflict, too. They battled over wedding colors, flowers, and even the guest list. But even in those disagreements, Emma felt a newfound respect for her father's opinions. He wasn't just a parent imposing rules. He was a partner in a new venture. One evening, while hanging fairy lights outside the community center, Jack looked over at Emma and chuckled. Remember when this was just a dream of yours, and I offered nothing but a no? Yeah, and here we are, she smiled genuinely. It's not how I pictured it, but it's turning into something beautiful. Jack's eyes glimmered with unshed tears, a reflection of the warmth growing between them. As they stood surrounded by the glow of the lights, Emma couldn't help but realize how much they had grown. Maybe love did mean letting go of expectations and embracing change together. All at once, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Jake. Can't wait for our day. I love you. She stared at the words, the reality of her love for him igniting a new flame in her heart. But not all was settled. Even as things were coming together, a hint of doubt still nagged at her. What if family ties weren't enough to hold her wedding dreams? Just as quickly, another notification pinged, this one from her dad. Can we talk? There are some things I want to share about the wedding. Her stomach dropped. What else did he want to discuss? The moment of truth was looming closer. Could their newfound understanding withstand another potential hurdle? Emma's heart raced as she read the message from her father once more. The evening's warmth faded slightly as an icy tendril of anxiety crept into her mind. They had moved mountains since their conversation beneath the oak. But could they really steady this fragile bridge they built? Hey, Emma. Everything okay? A voice broke through her thoughts. It was Mia, one of her best friends, carrying a box of snacks. She beamed at Emma, her enthusiasm spilling through her playful smile. Yeah, just thinking, Emma replied, trying to shake off the weight. Don't think too hard, remember. We're here to party, not to stress. Mia laid the box down and began unpacking. We got cupcakes, chips, and an endless supply of soda. The stuff dreams are made of. Emma chuckled despite herself, but her mind kept circling back to her father's message. Thanks, but I need to check in with my dad. Mia looked concerned. Is everything okay with him? I thought you guys were good now? I think so, but he wants to talk. About the wedding. Again, Emma said, her brow furrowing. Mia frowned, tilting her head. You know, sometimes parents can surprise you. Maybe he has a final idea that could make things even better. The optimism in her friend's voice was infectious, though Emma felt the pang of uncertainty still nestling in her chest. When she finally found a quiet moment, Emma texted back, Sure, Dad. What's on your mind? The reply came quickly. Can we meet at the coffee shop tomorrow morning? I want to share something important. As night fell, she tossed and turned in bed, her mind racing with questions. What could he possibly want to share? Was he reconsidering his ideas? Or would he bring up a new worry? Morning came all too fast. The sun cast a bright glow over the town. But even the sunlight didn't penetrate Emma's apprehensions as she walked into the coffee shop. The scent of fresh brew wrapped around her like a warm hug, yet she could still feel the chill of uncertainty. Jack was already seated at a corner table, sipping coffee and tapping his fingers nervously. When he saw her, he stood up and gave her a tentative smile. It looked weak, as if he wasn't sure if it was welcome. Hey, Emma. Thanks for meeting me, he said softly, Emma nodded, anxiety coursing through her veins. You said you had something important to share? Yes. I've been doing a lot of thinking since our last conversation. About supporting your dreams and what celebrating this wedding means for us. Okay. She replied, holding her breath. I want to announce a new approach to the wedding. His eyes glimmered with unspoken gratitude. I've decided to invite a few more family members to help contribute. I think we can make this more of a community celebration rather than just us. Emma paused, surprise flooding her senses. That's actually amazing, Dad. It's not just about the money. It's about everyone coming together. Exactly. I want it to feel like a festival. A day where love is spread far and wide. Not just for you and Jake, but also for our family and friends who've always been there. Emma could feel her heart swelling. This was the kind of support she wanted. But there's more, right? Jack swallowed hard, his face suddenly serious. Yes. I want to introduce some traditions from our family's past. If we can honor our roots in this, I think it could really mean something special. Emma's chest tightened with anticipation. What kind of traditions? That's the part one want us to explore together our own family heritage, he said, pride lighting in his eyes. So, we can create something truly unique as a way to blend the past with your future. For the first time since they began planning, Emma felt a surge of excitement that chased away her anxiety. Dad, I love this idea. Sharing our family's history could make this so much more meaningful, but before she could finish, her phone buzzed again. Another text from Jake lit up the screen. Are we still good for this weekend? I need to talk too. Emma felt her heart drop. The looming shadows of doubt began creeping in as she thought about the multiple paths before her. Would this be a celebration of love or a place where two worlds collided and sparked conflict? With a knot tightening in her stomach, Emma looked up at her father. What have I really signed up for? Was she ready to embrace all this change? Or was there a storm brewing just beneath the surface? Emma blinked, her phone slipping through her fingers and onto the table with a soft thud. The notification from Jake lingered in her mind, heavy and foreboding. She felt caught between her father's newfound enthusiasm and Jake's impending dilemma. What's wrong? Jack's gentle inquiry brought her back to the moment. His brow was creased with concern, eyes searching hers for answers. Nothing, it's just she started but faltered. Jake texted. He says he needs to talk this weekend. Oh, Jack hesitated, the atmosphere around them shifting. Do you think it's about the wedding? Emma nodded, her heart pounding again, but this time with a mix of excitement and fear. Yes. We've had plans for a while now. But if he needs to talk, it could mean her voice trailed off. Jack leaned back, a shadow crossing his features. This wasn't supposed to be overwhelming, Emma. The idea was to embrace this together and celebrate as a family. But if Jake feels different, we might need to address that too. The weight of his words settled on Emma. She looked out the window, watching people pass by, each wrapped in their own lives, their own celebrations. What if Jake wants to change things? What if this community festival idea isn't what he had in mind? She could feel the doubt creeping back in, clawing at her vision. Emma didn't just want a wedding. She wanted a marriage built on trust and connection. If Jake was pulling away now, how would that change everything? Emma, her father's voice broke through her spiraling thoughts. It's okay to talk through your feelings with him. We're all in this together. The traditions they're about bringing everyone closer. Open dialogue helps bridge gaps. She turned to him, something like hope kindling within her. So, what you're saying is I can invite him to be part of this tradition exploration too. Could help? Jack smiled, relief washing over him. Absolutely. Let him in on these plans. Share your excitement. It's not just about family heritage. It's about building your future together with the past as your foundation. Right? Emma nodded slowly, excitement beginning to infuse her thoughts again. But what if instead of a clash, we make this an adventure? Jack clapped his hands together. That's the spirit. Engaging Jake in this could soften the edges of whatever worries lie ahead. Just then, Mia bounded up to their table, her bright energy instantly lifting the mood. Hey, you two. I brought some cupcakes to celebrate the wedding planning. Let us dig in. Emma smiled at her friend, keen to embrace the light. At that moment, all the worries felt distant, like clouds fading from a sunny sky. But just as the sugary treats were passed around, Emma's phone buzzed again. This time it was a call from her mother. Dread settled over her like a shroud. What could she possibly want today? Should I take this? Emma asked, hesitation knitting her brow. Jack shrugged, maintaining his calm demeanor, yet she could see the concern etched on his own face. You should. Whatever news comes next, it's good to know as much as you can, especially now. Emma held her phone tight, her breath caught in her throat. Could this be a perfect continuation of their plan? Or a potential disaster waiting to unfold? Taking a deep breath, Emma accepted the call, her heart racing, unsure if she was ready for whatever lay ahead. Would this conversation bring clarity, or only further complications? Mom? She answered, her voice a mixture of hope and apprehension. Emma, I need to tell you something important about the wedding and about your father. Just like that, Emma's world tipped slightly, preparing to unveil yet another layer of complexity. What had she gotten herself into? Emma's breath caught as her mother's voice twisted around her heart, squeezing tightly. What is it, Mom? She asked, trying to mask the rising panic. I've been thinking a lot about the wedding, and there's something you should know about your father's feelings. He's not as on board as he seems. In fact, he's been reluctant to support the budget for the festival. The words crashed like a wave against Emma's dreams. Her stomach dropped, and she could almost hear the excited laughter of family and friends around her, distorted now with uncertainty. What do you mean? He was so excited just a moment ago. I know, but it's complicated, her mother continued, her voice betraying a hint of regret. Your father is worried. He believes that this festival will stretch us financially and emotionally. He feels that, well, maybe a standard wedding would be simpler. Emma's mind raced. Was her dream wedding fading away, overshadowed by fears? But it was his idea. He wanted to embrace our heritage, to bring family together. How can he just change his mind now? Her mother took a slow breath. Sometimes what we want is not what we really need. Your father is struggling with the idea of change, Emma. He loves you and wants you to be happy, but he's finding it hard to let go of expectations. A lump formed in Emma's throat. This isn't just a wedding for me. It's about our family, our future. Believe me, I know, her mother replied urgently. But you might have to help your father find his way, to show him that the wedding is about more than just the cost or traditions. Emma stared out the window, the world beyond drifting as her heart wrestled with each unfolding revelation. So what do I do? She whispered. Have an honest conversation with him, her mother urged softly. Listen to his fears. Share your vision. You can work this out together if you're both willing to meet halfway. As the call ended, Emma felt a fire ignite. Her father's fears didn't have to tear them apart. They could be the catalyst for something deeper, something that brought understanding to the surface. But how could she bridge that gap? She glanced back at Jack and Mia, their laughter erupting around the table. The cupcakes lay untouched, forgotten in the wake of her storm. Joy and dread collided in her chest, and she knew she had to act before the chance slipped away. Hey, could we gather the family for a talk tonight? She asked, her voice firmer than it felt. There's something important we all need to discuss. Jack's eyes narrowed with concern but also curiosity. About what exactly? About the wedding and my dad. Her heart raced at the thought of pulling everyone together for an urgent meeting. Mia tilted her head, genuine concern coloring her features. Is everything okay? Not yet, Emma replied, determination settling in her bones like an anchor. But it will be. The weight of empowerment settled in her chest as she prepared to take action and guide her family through the tension. Just then, her phone buzzed again, jolting her from her thoughts. She glanced down to see a new message from Jake. Her heart skipped a beat, anticipation flooding back in. Can we talk now? Emma hesitated, her pulse hammering. This could shift everything. Would he feel the same sense of urgency? Did he still believe in their shared adventure? She took a deep breath, ready to respond. but couldn't he shake the feeling that their next conversation might shape the entire foundation of her future? What would he say? How would their conversation intertwine with her family's? Emma opened the message, unsure of what was about to unravel next. The phone buzzed again, breaking the tense silence that surrounded Emma. Her heart raced as she typed a quick response to Jake, desperation wrapped up in each word. Yes, where? She hardly had time to hit send before her phone rang. It was Jake, and she answered on the first ring. Emma? His voice sounded urgent, as if he'd been waiting to speak to her all day. Yes, I need to talk to you. It's about the wedding. My dad, he doesn't wanna fund it. Emma's words spilled out like a broken dam. Oh wow, Jake replied, the surprise evident in his tone. That's huge, Em. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. The frustration poured out. I thought we were on the same page, and now everything feels like it's crumbling. I have to gather the family tonight to figure this out. I don't know how to talk to him. Let me come over. We can talk about it together. Maybe I can help. His willingness sent a wave of relief over her, but it was still fraught with uncertainty. Okay, yes, I like that. Great. I'll be there in 15. After hanging up, Emma sat down at the table that still held the remnants of cupcakes, their sugary sweetness now failing to lift her spirits. She felt like she was standing at the edge of a cliff, peering down. An enticing venture awaited, but it was infinitely dangerous. With her heart pounding, she strategized how to approach her dad. It was no longer just about the wedding. There was fear behind his words, and to truly understand him, she needed to be brave. Jack and Mia had paused their laughter to study her. What's going on? You seem really stressed, Mia said gently. Just wedding stuff, Emma replied, trying to mask the tumult of emotions swirling within. But I think tonight will help. As the evening approached, Emma found herself fidgeting in her chair. She dressed simply yet thoughtfully, hoping to convey her seriousness. Each tick of the clock crept slowly, tormenting her resolve. When Jake arrived, his comforting presence chased away some of her anxiety. You look determined, he said, handing her a bouquet of flowers, a small gesture that lightened her burden even just a little. Thanks, she said, studying the blooms closely. It's time to face the music. They moved to the living room, where her family gathered. Emma took a deep breath as she looked into the eager and confused eyes of her family. I really appreciate everyone coming. I need to talk about the wedding, but more importantly, I need to talk about Dad. Her father sat with arms crossed, a cloud of concern hanging over him. What's this about, Emma? We need to discuss the festival and your worries, she said, locking eyes with him. This isn't just about money for me. It's about what this celebration represents, a connection, our heritage. What heritage? He pushed back, his face hardening. You can have a lovely wedding without all this extravagance. Emma clenched her fists, feeling the tension rise. It's about family. You wanted to bring us together, and now it feels like you want to pull us apart. She could see the struggle in his eyes, and it made her heart ache. What pain lay beneath the surface? It unraveled a lifetime of expectations. This is not just my dream. Emma pressed on, frustration giving way to understanding within her voice. We can do this together if you're open to it. The room fell silent as her family looked from Emma to her father. Maybe it's time I explained, he finally said, his voice shaky. Then please, Emma urged gently. Show me. As her father began to speak, Emma felt hope flutter dangerously close to the edge of despair. Would this discussion take a turn she didn't expect? Would they bridge the gap between dreams and reality? Or was everything too far gone? All she knew was that something vital was about to be revealed, and she held her breath waiting for it. As Emma's father's gaze softened, the tension in the room crackled like electric air before a storm. Emma's heart thudded loudly in her chest, a dull drumbeat of fear and anticipation. She willed herself to listen. She had to know what was behind his discontent. I never wanted this to come between us, he began, his voice bogged down with weariness. With so many people expecting a grand celebration, I felt the pressure building. He glanced at the family gathered around. It's not just about money for me, Emma. It's about what happens if it goes wrong. What if I can't provide? It would crush me. His revelation felt like a barbed arrow shot straight through Emma's chest. Was it about fear of failure? Here she was, worrying about traditions and connections, while he was grappling with the weight of expectation. Something cracked open inside her, the walls of frustration crumbling. "Dad, I had no idea you felt that way." Emma's voice softened, weaving a thread of understanding between them. "But this wedding, it's not meant to showcase wealth. It's about family and the love we share. The connections we make, big or small, matter more than anything else." Her words hung in the air, and she could see the uneasiness playing out on his features, the lines of his face deepening as he pondered over her response. "I just want to make you happy," he murmured, almost as a confession to himself. "You make me happy when you're honest with me," she said, boldly stepping closer. "If you're worried, we can talk through it. You don't have to shoulder this alone." Another pause enveloped the room. Jake stood nearby, silent yet supportive, encouraging her with a gentle nod. The warmth of his presence gave Emma strength she hadn't known she needed. "Do you really mean that?" her father asked, a tremor of hope flickering in his voice. "Of course I do. We'll figure this out together," she promised. "Let us create something beautiful, and it doesn't have to be extravagant. Just us, together." Emma watched as the conflict in her father's heart waged on. Slowly, the lines of tension softened on his face, and she could see realization dawn. The idea that love and understanding needed not come with a hefty price tag. "I've been so worried about what everyone would think," he confessed. "But what matters is that we honor who we are, not how much we spend." Tears brimmed in Emma's eyes as relief washed over her. "Yes, exactly that," she exclaimed, feeling a swell of affection for him as understanding began to bridge the gap that had been aching between them. The atmosphere in the room shifted. Her siblings exchanged glances, relief creeping across their faces too. The family was coalescing, understanding that love wasn't encapsulated in grand gestures, but in shared moments. It felt like the tentative beginning of something new. "Let us gather ideas together, what traditions we want to keep, and what we can let go of," Emma suggested, feeling the energy build. "Creativity doesn't require a budget, just our hearts." As her father smiled softly, Emma felt the weight lift a little more. Hope sparked in the room, illuminating her path forward. But just as the mood lightened, a shrill ring cut through the warmth. Her phone buzzed on the table. Emma's heart tightened again. Who could it be now? Was this news good or bad? "Can you get that?" Jake asked, stepping away to check the snacks. With bated breath, Emma glanced at the screen. The name flashed before her eyes. A wedding planner she had spoken to weeks ago. She pressed accept. A wave of trepidation washed over her. What was the planner calling about? Was it a path to clarity or yet another hurdle in her journey? Her heart raced as she answered, anxiety knotting in her stomach. "Hello?" And the voice on the other end began to unravel a completely new twist that none of them saw coming. "Hi, Emma. I hope you're doing well." The wedding planner's cheerful voice felt like a sudden chill against the warmth that had just entered the room. Emma listened closely as she continued, "I have some updates regarding your bookings. I know we discussed several options for your venue, and I'm really excited to help you create the perfect day." Emma's grip tightened around her phone. "Thank you, but I just need to be transparent with you," the planner interrupted, her tone shifting to one of concern. "I've been hearing some rumors that may affect your plans. There's been a major booking conflict regarding the venue in your area, and I want to make sure you're aware of it." "What do you mean?" Emma felt the warmth of the room slowly draining, replaced by a gripping frustration. Her mind raced. Was this another obstacle they had to overcome after the previous emotional battles? The planner hesitated, then spoke urgently. "There's a possibility the venue might not be able to accommodate you on your chosen date. They've put a hold on several bookings due to unexpected maintenance issues." No, Emma's heart sank. Just when they started to breathe again, it felt like the walls were closing in once more. She glanced at her father, who was looking at her with a mix of concern and confusion. "What if we change the date?" she asked, forcing steadiness into her voice. "It's not that simple," the planner replied. There are limited dates available now, and I can't guarantee you'll get the new one. I recommend acting quickly if you still want to move forward. Thank you, I'll talk to my family about this. Emma ended the call, feeling both lost and overwhelmed. Jake returned, snacks in hand, but her face must have told him everything. What happened? He asked, setting the bowl on the table. The venue might not be available, Emma said, her voice barely above a whisper. And we may have to change the date. Her father stepped closer, worry creasing his brow. Emma, are you okay? No, I'm not. We just managed to find a way to communicate and work through your worries. Only to have this drop in on us. Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes. Feels unfair. Her father's expression morphed from concern to determination. Let us not get caught up in fear again. What if we look at other locations? We need to keep our spirits high. Dad, that takes time and money. How can we justify more expenses after everything? Emma's voice cracked, the weight of the situation bearing down on her like a heavy cloak. Because, he replied firmly yet gently, what matters is that we're together. If we need to make changes, we'll find a way. You have my word. Emma felt a twinge of hope again. She saw the fire in her father's eyes, saw how he was willing to dig deep to support her. But what about everyone's expectations? They'll think we failed, she said, her fear slipping out in fragile tones. Let them define failure if they choose, he said, surprising her with his confidence. We're not here to impress anyone except ourselves. In that moment, Emma recognized the shift. It wasn't just about the wedding anymore. It was about her family learning to face life's challenges together. Okay, Emma sighed, a tremor of resolve in her voice. Let us think of alternatives. Maybe there's a location that could be even more special to us. Absolutely, her father nodded, and some of the tension in the room eased back into warmth. Then Jake interjected, and who says you can't have a wedding in a backyard? You know, Mom would love to help make it beautiful. Emma's face brightened for the first time. You're right. I've loved that idea. We could create something truly meaningful together. As they began to brainstorm possibilities, the shared laughter and voices filled the room again, wrapping around them like a warm hug. But as they flipped through ideas, the phone rang once more. Emma stared at the screen. It was the planner again. Her breath caught in her throat. What now? Was this call the final nail in the coffin or a new opportunity? With a racing heart, she answered. Hello? Emma's voice broke slightly. The cheerful planner didn't match the tension she felt rising in her chest. Emma, thanks for taking my call. I hate to bring this up, but there have been some updates regarding the venue situation. Emma held her breath, preparing for more bad news. Jake and her dad paused, sensing the shift. The planner continued. I've just been informed that the hold has been lifted. They might actually be able to accommodate you after all. But there's a catch. What kind of catch? Emma pressed, her heart thudding. They can fit you in, but only if you can confirm by the end of the day. Otherwise, they'll have to offer the date to someone else. A small window of hope opened, only to be overshadowed by the pressure. Okay, so what do I do? Talk to your family. We need a decision fast, but I'm optimistic. This could be your chance. The planner's voice brimmed with excitement, but Emma's head was spinning. Right? Emma's voice faded as she looked at her dad and Jake, who were both leaning forward in anticipation. She ended the call, and silence enveloped them. The joy she felt moments ago felt distant now. They might have a date for us, but we have to decide quickly, she said breathlessly. What do you want to do? Jake asked. Emma ran her fingers through her hair, anxiety bubbling under her skin. I don't know. This is so much pressure. Look, her father said, exuding calm, we can figure this out together. Let us weigh the options. Right? Emma nodded, her heart racing. What if we pay the fee right now, but then switch to another venue later if plans change? Who says you can't have both? Jake proposed, his eyes twinkling with mischief. You could get married in your mom's garden and still party at the venue. Emma's laughter broke through the anxiety. That would be chaotic. But why not? The backyard could be intimate, and we could celebrate with friends at the venue later. Exactly. Jake cheered, eager for her enthusiasm. Her father studied her carefully, then spoke slowly. But wouldn't this mean more expenses? We just settled into a plan. Dad, I know, Emma sighed, but I want to have the wedding that feels right for us. If we go for the new date, it'd mean recognizing this journey and how far we've come. Her father shot her an impressed look. So we need to make sure you feel supported. If your heart is telling you to go this route, let us find a way to make it work. Emma felt a rush of warmth fill her chest, as if he were handing her the sun. Okay, maybe we lean more towards the backyard idea. We keep things light, but still celebrate all the love surrounding us. Jake chimed in, you can totally make it special. We could add string lights, family photos at LLB, a gathering full of memories. As Emma envisioned the celebration, the ideas started blooming. Her vision transcended her fears. This wedding could reflect them, their fight, their love, and their resilience. Suddenly, it felt possible. Let us do it, she exclaimed, her voice cracking. Let us go for it, but make it ours. Great. Now let us call that planner back, Jake urged, standing with purpose. But before Emma could grab her phone, her dad leaned close, warmth in his eyes. I want to support whatever you decide. I'd even help with costs. But his voice softened, skirted by hesitation. We need to talk about how we'll manage everything together. What do you mean? Emma frowned, confusion creeping back in. I feel it's important that you understand there's a limit to what we can do financially. I want to help, but I need your commitment to the entire idea. The room felt heavy suddenly, shadows creeping back into the corners of their cheerful conversation. Emma's heart began to race again. Would her dream now hinge on financial realities? The weight of unspoken expectations loomed, threatening to extinguish her hopeful flame. Dad, are you saying you might not support the total cost? Emma's voice trembled at the edge of uncertainty. Her father sighed, tearing at her happiness. Not in a way you might like. We have to navigate this together. Can we take a pause? Here to the ringing of the phone again sliced through the moment, startling them all. Emma glanced at the planner's name. It was now or never. Maybe they'll outline the financials. Or maybe it'll be the last thing that turns this whole idea upside down. Emma thought dreadfully, raising the phone to her ear once more. But her heart was already racing at the thought of having to choose between her dream and her family's reality. Would this call be the answer to everything, or a final push into uncertainty? Hello? Emma said, trying to mask the anxiety gripping her heart. Emma, I'm so sorry to call again, the planner said, her voice filled with excitement. What's going on? Emma held her breath, anticipation bubbling in her chest. I have wonderful news. The venue has just confirmed they can accommodate you. But they also mentioned they've adjusted their prices to be more budget-friendly, the planner exclaimed. Emma's eyes widened as a flicker of hope ignited. Really? That's amazing. Yes. But I needed to get back to you right away since spots are filling up fast, she continued. I'll get you a detailed breakdown of costs. I think we can find a way that works without breaking the bank. Emma felt the weight lift slightly, but she turned to her father, who remained pensive. What do you think? She whispered to him. Jack's brow furrowed, but the spark of hope shone brighter in his eyes. If we can make it more manageable, if you believe we'll be happier moving forward, then, of course, let us explore this. Her heart raced as she thought about everything they had built together over the past few weeks. This celebration was about love, unity, and overcoming fear together. Okay, let us do it. I want to embrace this moment, truly celebrate. With that, Emma's voice steady with determination, she told the planner. Yes, let us book it. Relief flooded the room like a warm tide, washing away doubt and tension. Jack's smile broadened, and Emma felt tears pricking at the corners of her eyes. Moments later, they finished the call, and a wave of laughter erupted from Jake, who had been quietly observing. You did it, Em. You're getting your dream wedding. His words landed like a warm hug. Thank you, Jake. Emma grinned, savoring the feeling of connection, of community. Mia clapped her hands, chiming in, how about a backyard bonanza then? We can turn your family's garden into a whimsical wonderland. As they brainstormed decorations and ideas, conversation flowed like a river, rich with laughter and plans. Emma felt the bond between her father, Jake, and her friends grow stronger, fueled by love and shared excitement. Later, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, Emma pulled her father aside. "I'm so grateful for your support, Dad. We've turned this from a struggle into celebration." Jack placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "I realize now it's the moments we spend together that matter most, not the money. I truly believe every detail from now on will reflect that love." Her father's words struck a chord deep within her. They were embarking on a journey together, hand in hand, ready to face any challenges ahead. As they wrapped up the evening, the atmosphere buzzed with a sense of unity. Emma turned to her father again, reflecting, "Whatever happens, I know we'll navigate it together. In every obstacle lies a lesson," he said quietly, his warmth wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. Feeling a renewed sense of purpose and connection, Emma gathered everyone in the living room, looking at the faces of her loved ones. "This wedding isn't just about me and Jake anymore. It's about our family and what truly matters. Let us embrace that." With cheers and clinks of cups, they toasted to love, unity, and the magic of collaboration. As Emma looked around at the smiles, laughter, and anticipation swelling in the room, she knew this day was destined to be filled with joy and cherished memories. For the first time in a while, she breathed deeply, ready to step into this adventure and all heartwarming changes it promised. With love gleaming brighter than any extravagant event could offer, Emma realized this was just the beginning of a beautiful chapter, one she would never have to face alone. Now, if this story touched your heart, you need to subscribe now. Don't miss out on future exclusive stories that inspire hope and transformation. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this emotional ending, and share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. This is the moment to lift each other up. Don't wait not even one more second to share.